Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ink Talks podcast. And yeah, today is a bit different because we are now in our workout attire.
Yeah. And I am now having breakfast-ish, post-gym snack, post-gym snack, something like that. Because, this morning now it's like 9:40. It's a Sunday, but this morning it's a bit of an awkward time where the gym just opens at 8,
yeah.
and then we try to go to gym, and then we still want to record our podcast. We don't want to wake up so early to do it, and then we don't want to. We actually haven't have our proper breakfast yet. That's the thing. So after this, we'll probably have our brunch, but just before all of that happened, the reason why we don't have brunch first is that we feel that, after having brunch, after eating so much, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. Not exhausted, actually. You feel just tired because of how full you feel. You want to rest. Yes, something like that. And then even after you shower and all that, because it just takes so much time, sometimes after shower, you're so comfy that you want to remain comfortable instead of like doing stuff and all that. So just like might as well, right after working out, you still have the blood in your body, adrenaline and all that. Might as well, let's just do all this stuff and then we'll head for brunch.
Yeah, and to be honest, I feel like, at least for now, I still feel kind of refreshing after the workout. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's slightly different the way we have it in the UK compared to Malaysia.
Oh yeah, true.
In Malaysia, it is really exhaustive, I'd say. Like when you work out and all this, you sweat a lot, and then what else?
And you feel very sticky after
yes,
that.
okay. Like it's very uncomfortable on your skin, and then it's really, really hot. Over here, it's like you do kind of sweat. We were doing aerobic exercises. We're doing we're running on the treadmill, and right after that, when we head out, we're sweaty in the gym. But then right after we head out, there's like wind. It's cold, so it
dries up your sweat.
Yeah, and then I don't know, like maybe your heart contracts or something because like instead of sweating more, now it kind of tells you to time to contract, like keep the heat in within, something like that. That's why. So it feels different here. So it helps a lot. Like continue doing things after a workout instead of like stop. Instead of like in Malaysia, you feel like I just want to sleep or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have Costa coffee here.
But because we haven't had any breakfast or anything, so we'll just have some snack and like, make it like kind of casual-ish. And then over here we have some. This one is actually a Walker. Apparently it's quite popular. A short bread from Scotland, given by our friend from Sunderland. Two of them.
It's good. It's good.
It's really good. It's amazing. So they're having this with my hot chocolate, and then Vereen is having it with her Costa coffee latte.
Yeah, thank you very much for Mr. Andrew Gun for buying me a cup of Costa coffee. Okay. Anything happened throughout this week?
Did we record one? No, we did. Yes, we did. We recorded one episode last week.
Yeah.
And it was like right on the New Year day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just got confused because because that episode which we recorded on New Year Day just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused with my time because like our recording time and then the published time is definitely always different. So anything's happened this week. I mean, things getting back to normal, I guess. It was like New Year, New Year. It is like anything new for this New Year for you?
Not really. Just busy with assignments and stressing out because of that. It's like, although you know that that thing that has been scheduled, like the submission date and all, but sometimes before you submit the previous one, you actually can't really focus on the next one.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'll take quite a different example per se. Like how when I was working on a puzzle. So for those who don't know, you can check out my Instagram, Andrew Kwan, and then you'll see that we actually completed a 2,000 piece puzzle. So the funny thing is that I bought this puzzle for Vereen 2 years back, I think, almost 2 years back, and then it was like because like I'm coming to the UK, and then And I was like, okay, I'll just create that and buy her that, and then she'll work on that. It's a beautiful 2,000 piece puzzle about Taipei because that's where we want to go to. And then I was like, yeah, she can just work on it, and then yeah, like kind of like a gift for her. And while I'm in the UK, she'll work on that, and then when I'm back, she'll be done, something like that. So yeah, even like because like they split it into two packages. If you're familiar with Lego, they make it into many packages as well. So that's what they do with their puzzle as well. So they have 2,000 pieces packages, and then you can just work on it. And then so the first 1,000 pieces, she was working on it, and then yeah, but the thing is like she never knew that I'm just gonna return in Malaysia, like mid halfway, and then I came back, and then she's not done yet. And then after that, when she's about to come to the UK, I say, because before that my parents came here for my graduation, and then my parents packed some of her stuff here in one luggage as well, and I asked her to just bring that here, might as well, because she's coming as well. And then yes, I completed that 1,000, and then there was another 1,000 lying around, just lying there. And then we just left it there. Like, even though she's here, we left it there all the way until like few days before New Year.
Yeah.
It's after Christmas, right?
After Christmas.
Yeah. And then right after Christmas, when we're back, we just like figure out, why not let's just do that. Yeah. Actually, now I figure out it might not be a good idea. You should have been working on your essay. And then we were doing that. But so what happened is that 1,000 pieces, so the first 1,000 pieces kind of took like roughly a year to complete. Yeah, roughly a year to complete. And then, but when it's here, it's actually like I got it done quite quickly, like the leftover parts. But right now we are starting from scratch with like 1,000 pieces, and then we pretty much just got that done within 5 days. And one of the reason is because when there's just that thing over there, like which is messy and all that, it just kind of force you to like, at least force me to just go there and I've got to make it finish. I want to complete it, something like that. So whenever I have something else to do, like I don't know, editing videos, like posting Instagram and all that, I also feel like, yeah, I want to do that first, man. Like, that is undone over there. Like, I can't really focus on other stuff, even though I'll say that, like, compared to yours you're talking about 2 assignments which have equal weights, like they are equally hard. Mine, they are actually one is quite hard, and then another one is comparatively easy, like posting Instagram and all this. I'll still get distracted to the stage where I want to complete this hard one first, just because it's undone. So I can understand how harder would it be when you are trying to you're juggling between 2 hard things. Like, I'm not done with assignment 1, and then now I like assignment 2 is due in like a week's time, and I was like, oh fuck, how can I like split up my brain for 2 of them, and pretty much that's like quite impossible. I can imagine that it will be quite impossible for me as well.
Yeah, I don't really know what's the thoughts behind my lectures, and I mean how they designed this to be, but I guess it's probably because everything they teach you everything for a reason. And so they access you at the end of it. That's why everything is like kind of like compiled at the end. But just that things has been like scheduled back to back, 1 week after 1 week. So it feels like 1 week probably, I wouldn't say it's not enough, but if you want to produce better work, of course you need more time, right?
Which was the work that was originally due on like before Christmas or something?
Forensic essay, the one that I completed yesterday. Yeah. So, but before you really submitted that, it will still stick in your mind.
Yeah.
No matter how, like for now, I would say I've actually completed that, but I still want to go back to it.
You still think that there's something I can do, something that's not done. I could have improved it more, something like that. I understand. I totally understand.
So yeah. So it's been kind of stress, I would say, but still manageable.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I really run into some problems or what, I can still talk to you and figure it out. And yeah,
it's cool. That's great. Yeah. Otherwise, for me, I guess for me it's different though. I guess because of my job, my work. It's complicated in the sense that, if you heard Meta laid off like, I don't know, 11,000 workers closer to end of last year, around November, probably. It's been so long. I don't know. Sometimes you just lost track of how long things are. But yeah, so and then now, yeah, there's just a lot of different things going on, internal restructure, and then every beginning of the year they kind of make plans and all that. So it's I don't know. Personally, I love to feel accomplishment and fulfillment in what I do. Now it's just in the middle. I guess you have to force yourself to find things and then learn things, something like that, instead of like there's a clear objective on what to do. So now I'm just in more of a confused state, trying to figure out what to do, like getting used to things, getting used to learning new things, something like that. So that is me right now. But yeah, like this is some interesting episode that we will talk in future episode, which we just jot that down into our notion, and then we're just gonna discuss about it, how important is it to feel fulfillment in job. So coming really soon. I believe me, like within 1 or 2 months. But other than that, is there anything else that you would like to just talk about recent life and all that?
Actually, I can kind of like relate to how you're feeling. Actually, for me right now, I feel kind of, I'm not sure if lost is the right word, because I did work before, and now that I'm doing my masters, I have that feeling like I should do more. But I kind of like stuck in between, like how to juggle everything and make sure everything that I'm doing, I do it in a good way, or
Is it like let me try to explain that. Would it be like, because you were working, you feel like what you do is slightly more impactful, something like that, and then right now you feel like you just you back then you were doing more, you're producing more output, and then right now you're like, so what am I doing? I'm doing assignments. Like, it's not impactful enough, it's not really doing much, like it doesn't give you enough fulfillment. Would you say it that way? Or did I understood it wrongly?
I mean, it's not completely what I'm trying to say, but part of it is that, and then another part is that like coming over to UK to study and all, you wouldn't want to feel anything, because it's expensive and it's not easy to come and
okay.
So of course I want to do well in my academics and all, and I know how competitive it is, like for like fresh grads here to get into clinical work, because everyone literally wants that work because of their future career planning and all. So and of course if we are those people that interested in clinical work, usually we kind of share the same thoughts and everything, because we just prefer doing those stuff.
I can imagine like if you are, for example, I don't know if you are familiar, like for example, let's say if you're a historian in the UK, you study history, you, of course, obviously everyone would like the reason why you got into especially more so in the UK, like when you get into a subject, it's more because you have the passion, the reason you want to do something that is in this field. Like obviously I want to be the best of the best, I want to study the best historical sites. I actually don't know what historians do. Hopefully I don't say anything wrong, but I can imagine that maybe historian, you would love to produce a hypothesis and investigate the reasons behind Stonehenge and all that. But of course, like Stonehenge as foundation, I believe they have certain limited funds, and then they try to only hire the best of the best. They wouldn't just let everyone in and submit their hypothesis, and then they wouldn't want to go through all that stuff as well, and then people wouldn't want to work for free, I believe. So everyone will be fighting for that. I presume the same thing will be yours. Like everyone studying eventually would hope to become somewhere near the clinical psychologist path, and then even though it's the field is a lot broader right here in the UK, still everyone knows that it's harder to get in. Getting an assistant psychologist job, like it's not easy, huh?
I even heard, because one of my classmates he's studying medicine, but he's taking a gap year kind of stuff, and then he because in the future he want to.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Like, you're studying and then you take a gap year to study another subject. Like, okay, that's
Because
cool.
in the
Yes.
future he want to go into the psychiatry world, probably most probably. I think he said something he want to do something related to research in psychiatry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I guess this course kind of help a lot because we
Mental health
focus.
focus.
We focus a lot on research as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and so he said from what after he joined the course and from what he has been hearing from people around him, he feels like to get into a clinical psychology
Is it?
doctorate course is so much harder than getting into a medicine. I'm like, wow.
Possibly there's just need a lot of doctors. I don't know why.
Yeah, probably.
General doctors, I guess. Well, maybe clinical psychology is very specific, and then because
true.
being a doctor, you're just being a doctor. There's still many pathways. You need to decide you want to be a GP or you want to go deaf into like a surgeon or something, or
Become specialist.
yeah, something like that. So I presume, I don't know. I'm a computer scientist. I study in the computer science field. Not exactly a computer scientist right now. So not really familiar with that. Just making my hypothesis.
Yeah, so I guess everything kind of like adds up and it makes you feel like, hey, what are you doing now?
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But overall, everything is still manageable. I'll say just that there's something behind that you want to find out, but yeah.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh, okay, still all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about it, I get stressed about it, but then when I tell myself, oh, it's fine, I guess it get itself sorted, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into our topic today.
Yes. So I think I'm the one thing I'm quite interested is before I want to dive into this exact topic, I want to see when did I came out with it. Just want to have some context. Wait, did I? Wait, no, created. Wait.
No.
I don't think so. Did I change it or something?
Maybe.
I don't think it was created at this time. Or when I move it, does it change it? I wonder. I suspect when we change it. Yeah, I think when we pull it over here and then it just kind of change it. Okay, fine, never mind. I guess I can't really track when it was created. So today we are actually talking about this topic whereby is this podcast actually a form of therapy for us? So yes, if I can think about it, I think this came out definitely last year, definitely not this year, 2023. But I just forgot when, because I guess sometimes when we kind of, I guess my term therapy, how I describe it as therapy is more like, when we last time when we speak on this podcast, we kind of throw out our problems, kind of try the ways to figure out ourselves, how are we dealing with stuff, how can we improve our own, something like that, in certain ways. So I guess that's why I think, when is this podcast actually a form of therapy, and how can we, like, are we using this podcast to, just like an open platform where we can speak out, we can throw out stuff, we can try to figure out things openly, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. generally this, this, and yeah. But let's start with one question. Personally, do you think? Well, we've been doing this podcast for more than a full year, like around almost 1.5 or maybe 1.75 years to be exact, kind of like that. Do you think it has actually improved you in any ways? Or like, I'll say in two levels. One is growth and one is correction. So growth is like it improved you, you grew more, you learn more stuff. And then correction is more like, you found your flaws and then you edited yourself, something like that.
Yeah, I'll say yes. It does change me into. I wouldn't say like completely another person, but yeah, it does bring changes to me in terms of like, it actually gives me an opportunity to think about stuff. Like sometimes, for example, most of the time we do have a topic and so we discuss around that topic. It gives me the opportunity to really think deep, and throughout our discussion, we're actually exchanging our ideas.
Okay.
And from there, we probably might spark some other interesting ideas or thoughts that we've never thought of.
Okay.
Yeah, that actually makes me feel like, I'm actually doing some thinking. Because nowadays, there's just so much of content out there that we consume without thinking at all.
Yeah.
Things just come in, and we usually won't create any output just by, looking at those or watching those content. But when it comes to like us discussing on some topic, it gives you a chance to really think about it. Like, I still remember the very beginning of us starting to do our podcast. Before our recording, I actually have to sit down and write things down first, or else I couldn't think of anything when we are discussing about it.
Sorry to start in here. Do you think it improves your critical thinking in certain ways?
I'll say probably yes, and it makes me think faster as well. I'll say I'm still thinking a lot slower compared to you, but compared to maybe 1.5 years ago, I'm sure I'm a lot faster compared by then. Yeah. Wait, what was I gonna say just now?
Yeah, you think you're speaking about something like you have to jot down notes because you can't really think about stuff like.
Yeah, and I kind of still remember you did ask me like, why can't you just throw questions at me? But that time is actually very difficult for me. Yeah, and I sometimes when we are talking about something, I couldn't really think about the next question or something that could, flow by next or something. But now it's kind of different. And I will say I kind of like show that improvement when we're interacting with our guests nowadays. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, of course there's still lots of rooms for improvement, but we can't just ignore those little baby steps that we have taken. And
Definitely.
So I'll say yes, it did bring some changes to me.
That's amazing. But more focusing on like what I asked, like growth and correction. How would you like is it more like growth, and is there I can feel like there is definitely growth. Just say that there's like any correction, improvement on flaws, something like that.
Improvement on flaws. I'll say definitely yes. Just that how big is that flaw? Sometimes that if it's big enough, we tend to be aware of it more. But sometimes it's just something very small, but it does improve. Just that we are not really aware of it. Yeah. So I'll say both actually did happen.
Okay, that's cool.
How about you?
Yes, for me, definitely. Of course, even though this whole thing came from, it was an idea of mine, starting podcast, everything. Definitely, throughout this process, we encounter different things. Definitely, there was like arguments, like between us, like how to manage this whole thing, like the satisfaction, how I want it to be. I would say that would be one of my, even though those are not directly shown on this podcast, it actually, it still made me realize different things, like how to actually manage a thing together with someone else, basically doing things as a partner together. Yeah, and then that's one thing. Just kind of like when you're working in groups, but more high level, managing a business with a partner, something like that. There's differing opinions or who to work on what, delegating work or something like that. Definitely. So, that's just boom, yay! Like you kind of know whether are you too. What's that word? Are you too controlling? Is it too much? Something like that. So that's something that I learned. But if I dive deeper into our conversation and all that, definitely, yes, I first I like to focus more on like the correction on flaws and all that. Definitely feel like there's, I guess, traditionally it's more like I look things from more of my perspective, and then it kind of sometimes it does force me. Initially, I guess I was more like still standing on my own feet, like standing for my own opinion and all that. And then eventually it kind of turns around, kind of changes a bit. Like I do not, the world is different, especially in this podcast where it's both of our podcasts. It forces us to absorb both person's perspective, and then you think about it, or discuss or something, so whether that is right or something. So I think that is one of the key thing I like, and I'm still working on. Sometimes I still like to insist on my own idea or something, but then like it does, like it kind of acts as a point, or like as a thing that reminds me that, okay, so when I come into this podcast, it can remind me that, okay, it's time for you. You have noticed that, you have to look into others' perspective. You have to think of how others think, something like that. Still, like, not that I solved it fully, but then it's like still it kind of pushes me, remind me to work on this. And then another thing is, like, if you talk about growth, definitely tons of growth. First thing first, when we're inviting guests, that is like one of the, I would say, purest form of growth. Like, because like conversations are just valuable when you listen from others, you talk to others, you learn a lot. Yes. Especially, and I guess I'll say that speaking to guests and then speaking to another host is different.
Yeah.
Because when you're speaking to guests, at least for me, I tend to be more acceptive of ideas and all that. So generally, it's more like you're taking in and something. Of course, there are times where you disagree, then maybe you ask a bit, like, what do you think of this? But it's because they are guests, so it's less likely that you would interact more like hosts, like okay, why do you think this way? Like it's weird that you think this way. You won't question exactly that much. So those are more of the growth segment. And yeah, towards hosts, definitely there's still growth when I hear from you, different perspective, or like new ideas when you pop in, like what you think. And I was like, okay, that is quite interesting. But I guess more flaw adjustment and all that correction comes from both of us, and then more growth comes from like with guests or something like that. But I guess another thing that I will consider it as a real therapy with this whole podcast is that sometimes it allows me to ask questions. Like I don't know. I guess even though initially it just, I don't know, it's a bit weird, but initially when we were doing this, at least I probably feel less of this way, but I guess I saw it from your side, is that it's still like you're kind of like doing a YouTube video-ish. You're afraid of how people judge you, something like that. So that's why you wouldn't still act normally instead of trying to like act like what you would like people to perceive, something like that. But I guess at this time, I believe you're quite comfortable with it. Like we don't really care how we speak or something like that. Just accept when we kind of go into like specific names, something like that. Then like we kind of like try to make sure that it's confidential or something like that. But I guess I don't really do that. Yeah, like even right now when I do YouTube video, I don't really care about what other things, because like, at this point you're like, oh, not many people actually watch your videos, something like that. And I guess it's more like when I'm vlogging, when I'm actually with other people, then I care about how people judge me. But the actual video output, I was like, whatever. Like, yeah. So I guess we're at that point. So this podcast kind of opens up, become like it's just like a normal conversation, but this normal conversation comes with a special thing where it has that like asterisk in the beginning, like, oh, this is a conversation. But then you do have to make sure that when you're in this conversation, you focus on the topic itself, and then you focus on like thinking, you focus on asking questions, something like that. So it forces you to do certain things, and then asking questions is one of the things. And then sometimes when I do really have not good question, but questions that I really want an answer for, I can just like, it's like a very safe place for me to just like throw it out and then kind of try to figure it out. So yeah, and then yes, I mean like another therapy part I personally think is just, you know, how the ability to just for me to just like throw a topic and then we just talk about it. Yeah, like because I don't know, there's just this funny thing about when you are creating something, you need to create that thing, and then so you must do it, kind of, and then like it gives other stuff a reason, like because normally I guess why would we ask this question, like if I convert this question, is this podcast a form of therapy, into like normal conversation, we wouldn't talk about it this deeply.
Yeah, true.
Because
true.
First thing first, this question maybe isn't that important, and then second, I mean there is no such a, other than it's not a really important question, that there's just not much reason to find an answer behind this, and then you just be like, yeah, like, let's not talk about this, like it's weird, something like that. But then like now that we're doing a podcast, it's like, so we are creating something, so why not? This is a bit interesting, but then now with the added value of creating an episode and podcast, something like that, so you know, why not just talk about it, explore it, something like that.
And especially when and especially when we're putting it on podcast, we tend to evaluate or think about the terms that we are using on our title a bit more. That's why we tend to dive deeper. Oh my god, what I'm saying. Dive deeper into the topic itself instead of just going on a very surface level. Yeah, at least we try to. Yeah, not to say that we are always talking about stuff in a very.
I'm just wondering if that actually makes any sense. Like, oh, sorry. But I was listening. I swear I was listening.
Okay, where was I? Okay. Yeah. Although we are not saying that we are always on a very deep level of discussion or what, but yeah, at least we try to, you know, dive deeper as much as we can. Try to explore as much thoughts that we can, or just come up with something new, right? Yeah, and another thing that I just thought of is that usually the word therapy itself, it doesn't just mean that you heal yourself, but it kind of also tells you that you have to face your past or something in there. Because as a human, it's normal, because our biology just built us in this way that we tend to don't face anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. Probably because of evolutionary reason. Yeah. So throughout from the podcast itself, sometimes the topic might come from you that I'm not that comfortable with, but yeah, but since we are doing it as a podcast episode, I have to face it.
Yeah.
No matter what, I have to face it. I have to think about it, and it kind of gives me a reason to move forward from that instead of just avoiding it.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Yeah,
and also for therapy, apart from these 2 points, sometimes we do talk about skills building. Because we have to. I wouldn't say we have to, but usually the world construct in a social way, like those kind of rules and laws and everything, it's socially constructed. That's why we, at the end of the day, we still tend to look for ways to fit into the society. That's why we talk about skills building, because you just have to find the right skill to fit yourself in there so that you feel comfortable. You don't feel like, why am I so different? Is there something wrong with me or something? Yeah, but from doing this, it kind of makes us think about, is there any flaws or any part that we are not doing good enough, or some parts that we need more thinking, or then it leads us to think more about it, face it, and challenge ourselves sometimes. Yeah. So I'll say it kind of like, you know,
It's quite good, isn't it? This
Yeah.
podcast.
suddenly it feels like,
But
we do it for a reason.
yeah, I don't know, but it's quite funny, isn't it? Like when you compare it, like every single episode of a podcast could be just a conversation which just happens in one house, one room, two chairs, and then no one actually cares about. Yeah, but the thing is, like, just because we give it some sort of reason, kind of recorded it, we kind of now we make a video out of it, and then we kind of force ourselves to put time into it, and then we force a minimum amount of time to it, and then it just forces us to make it serious.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it just like it originally, if we're just going through it as a typical normal conversation, some topics which are really, really minor, we'll just like possibly just disregard it with really minor, simple conclusion and something like that. Maybe just this, or like you're thinking too much, something like that. But right now, I don't know. Like, of course, I guess by discussing it more, it doesn't necessarily means that we figure it out more.
Yeah.
Sometimes we introduce more questions or we introduce more bullshit. it does happen, but I know it's funny that it kind of just like it could have been something. It's already something, and then you build something on top of it, and then it just grows stuff out of it, like in the end, like originally it's the same thing, and then it works on its own. But then just because we add something on it, it just grows something interesting out of it. Like I don't know, it's just I just find this thing quite interesting. This thought, like even though sometimes you say that if it's not broken, don't fix it, and not that we are fixing it, but we're just adding something into it, decorating it, something like that, and then new things just comes out of it, like unexpected stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just yay.
It is cool. Yeah.
But I forgot. I believe it was really something big-ish that kind of led me to think that like, is this a form of therapy, something like that? I guess that like I forgot which episode gave me this, but I believe it's really something that I was able to just throw out. I was just able to just figure it out, kind of guide my thoughts throughout this whole thing, asking each other question about like sometimes the questions isn't to know what you think about. Sometimes it's about the question I have, and then I want to see what is the question to this answer in your perspective, and then from that answer, then I can actually put it into myself. Like, wait, maybe this works, and maybe this is how I am able to solve this problem of mine. So, yeah, I guess that's cool. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure whether a podcast will be a therapy for everyone. Definitely, I guess for some people, if it becomes sometimes they're more like cultural perspective, a specific. They're like some podcasts. We're literally just babbling about like life topics, so incongruous thoughts and all this. Some people are more focused on like specific topics, talking about what happened during the week, business, or like talking about pop arts, pop culture, something like that. Sharing about what they like to share about. I guess some of them can be a therapy as well. I can imagine that if I'm sharing something that I'm interested in, it's kind of like a therapy for me. It kind of helps me. It just like, I don't know. I'm sharing stuff, and I'm producing value. It kind of helps me a bit. So I can imagine that is a therapy as well.
It just depends on how you structure everything.
Yeah.
Some people just need more something more guided to help them in terms of like thinking and going through those therapeutic process and all. But some people just stuff guided is fine enough. They can just figure things out by thinking or talking about it. Okay. Everyone is different, and everyone's needs differ as well.
Okay.
But I'm really glad that just now when you talk about like sometimes we might just disregard those like very minor topics. Something that actually came into my mind is that in the past, before we start this podcast, we actually discuss about many stuff most of the time, like sometimes even big topics or deep topics. But in the past, we can't really record it down because we just talking about it. But now that we are putting this on our podcast, although we don't really go back and listen to what we talk about, but if let's say one day we really want to do it, they are there.
Yeah, it's like for the 1% time that it's happening, you know, it's there. Like just like how you, when you do journal and all this, when you try to go back to one day, you kind of not exactly will figure out what you were doing that day, but then it just helps you to think about that. But
and it's quite amazing for you to go back on that day and see what's the difference between you back then and what you are now. Like what kind of thoughts that you are actually having on the same kind of stuff.
Yes, I agree. Beautiful, isn't it? I don't know, I guess. But I don't know, it's so weird. Like when you're just, sometimes when you're just doing all this thing for like I don't know reason, and like for I don't know reason that's gonna happen like 10 years later, or that 1% chance, it's just hard. And I don't know, I guess because like I really like how this podcast is considered a lot more low maintenance compared to like doing YouTube videos or like doing other stuff. And yeah, so I don't know, I just hope that I can keep doing this. Like, I don't know, it's my goal to just like, you know, force myself and to keep doing this for like 30 years, and then hopefully my grandchildren sees it and they're like, oh my god, you've been doing it for 30 years, that's cool, like, oh, let's do one as well. I'm not sure whether it will turn out that way, but I guess
but when I talk about that, I don't mind continue doing doing podcasts with you, because it just gave me a chance to think and talk about stuff.
Even though it's random. It's very random.
Super random. We don't even know why we come up with those ideas sometimes. But like compared to YouTube videos, it took me like super long to complete one. But for this, I feel, and I don't know, maybe it's because it's something that is shared between us, that so that there's a commitment there, compared to like YouTube channel. It's just something that, and I don't know, maybe because from the point that we started, we say that we try to keep this as low maintenance as possible, so that we can continue doing it.
And it actually made it easier right now. We don't even need to edit it. It's just like pop, done, download, upload, done.
And so that actually makes me feel like wait.
And I guess it's cooler when we have a video. People can just see this. Even like probably we did something weird.
Like eating.
This is fine. This is normal. But like I don't know, like when I was like, I don't know, scratching my face or whatever.
Wait, where was I?
Sorry. Sorry for that.
Okay, fine. Anything. So it makes me feel like I don't want to just continue doing it, because there's not that much work compared to like editing a video. Is a very long process. And now that you say it's a lot easier, and even if you want to cut some reels out of it, it's not that difficult as compared to
but you know, like you kind of have to produce it at once, something like that. But yes, I do. I don't know, from this episode, like, okay, so let's go on to conclusion first before we go on to other minor topics. So yes, I believe we just agree that this podcast is a form of therapy. I guess it can be.
For us.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see that it can be for many. Of course, some people generally do this like for certain like business and all that, but I guess for many, it can be like when you're genuinely sharing. And one reason this podcast isn't like YouTube and all that, I don't know, it's a lot low commitment. It's easier to do, and it allows us to care less about how it is. We just share. We don't even need to care about editing quality, something like that. It's just audio quality, video quality. It's not even that important. So I guess it's low commitment, and then to be honest, I feel like it gives more output than a YouTube video. Like if we don't talk about business wise, like YouTube video, you don't really gain much for yourself. But this one, I feel like, especially because like we are discussing, and then we learn more stuff from each other. So guess it's cool. It's like a lot of growth and improvement happens just between us by just doing every single episode, I guess.
Yeah, and although we still need to look at the numbers sometimes, but to be honest, I don't really care that much about the numbers because I know that we are doing it. Part of the reason is for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not completely just to grow and get the numbers.
Yeah. But for some reason, the number is like growing, which is quite amazing. Like 2 episodes ago, the review one, a lot of quite not many views by comparing to other video standard, but then like on YouTube, it's like wow, there's like 28. That's a lot then. All others. So yes, thanks for all those that are following us and then listening. So yes, amazing. But before we end the episode, I just want to talk about something else. I thought of something. Yes. So yeah, from this experience of like recording a podcast right after workout, do you feel better?
Yes, it is.
I feel like it's actually like there's multiple reasons why it feels better. Because first thing first is that like if you want to feel exactly comfortable, because initially I was like hungry, like before I go to a gym. After coming back, I'm hungry as well. That's why I made a cup of hot chocolate and then had this short break, something like that.
He actually
I left it for you. This for you. I don't want to finish it. Yeah, and yeah, like, but at least like, I guess I feel like whenever you do things straight after working out, it feels better. Blood is pumping, fresh blood, adrenaline, and all that. So it gives you want to kind of do more stuff. And then another thing is that there is just like doing a workout is you feel so much accomplished after that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it gives you a very, very good reason to just rest.
Yeah,
after that.
True.
Like even when you eat stuff, you would want to binge on YouTube, and then after you shower, you probably want to head for sleep, something like that. Because I've done everything. I've worked out.
Yeah.
I spent 35 minutes on a treadmill. I sweated everything out. Oh my god, I burned like 500 calories. Like, why don't I deserve this? So I guess the beautiful thing about workouts that it's good to use the maybe 31 hour after the workout when the blood is still flowing, your heart rate is still beating really fast, to just do more things. Keep doing things until when you're actually when you're like okay, like use up all your power, then maybe let's hit for like food, shower, something like that. But it's I mean this is more applicable towards like colder countries over here where like
true.
Like I can barely smell your sweat. Can you smell my sweat? No. Yeah, like this it kind of works different, but I guess kind of works this way. I'm figuring out like maybe in the future we should
try this
work out and then like whether it's like going to the gym or even next time we'll just run outside, and then we'll come back for immediately a podcast.
Yeah.
And then like then only we do other stuff that we want to do.
Yeah, and but of course after working out, sometimes you just work too hard that you don't have any energy left at all. Yeah, that might not work that well, but most of the time we don't really work out till that point though.
Okay, I guess I understand. I guess my totally fatigue workout is probably if I run a 21 kilometers. So yeah, like even after I run 10 kilometers, I was like pumped up. Let's do more stuff. Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I guess it's a good way, because I guess one big problem when we had here, waking up, let's do podcasts first. Or like, breakfast after. I don't really feel like doing podcasts.
Yeah, and most of the time, the weather out there it's just making you feel like you should continue sleeping in your bed.
Yes. You're like, oh no, why not? Let's just binge on YouTube. Oh, this is interesting. Let's watch that before doing our podcast, something like that. But right now, it's like we did something great. We ran 35 minutes on a treadmill. Let's do something more.
Yeah, so we take off 2 to-do lists. I mean, to do on our list today.
That's amazing. So I think we should really, I don't know, it just makes me want to feel, it makes me feel like doing workout every day. I feel like I'm really in needing of workout. But yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. I mean, like, first thing first is the space that we have in this house share that kind of limits the amount of workout I can do. Next time when I do rent a space, probably winter, I'll still do workouts every day, like how I did like at 5 a.m. last time back in Malaysia. I was like, I don't know, I guess that feels good.
You just reminds me of my mom, like those time working out with her.
Oh, it's amazing.
it was. Although we are just doing some simple workout following those YouTube videos, but it feels different when you do it with another person compared you doing it just yourself.
Push you to the next level by doing harder ones.
And then we're laughing at each other sometimes, like, you look so funny.
Oh, mine is different now. I'll be so focused on my workout. It's like, and then I'll just be, well done.
And then I do feel happy to see her working out. Okay. I know that now that I'm not in Malaysia anymore, she tends not to do
workout.
Yeah. Because you just feel not really motivated to do it by yourself.
Yeah, that's like kind of like a good thing about two-person dynamics. That, of course, it's best to have both person pushing each other. So like when both of you do want to do something, like, oh yes, let's do it, and then it'll be like a 1 + 1 equals to 3 or 4. And even if one doesn't want to do, it'll still be like at least a 1.5, and then it'll kind of push that person to do it, something like that.
Yeah, true.
So I accept, like, but you need to make sure that both like are quite committed into this. You don't want to be like, if both equally doesn't want to do this, it'll be like, let's not do this, let's not do this.
I know in the past my mom actually knows the benefit of like working out. Just that, sometimes you just feel so unmotivated to push yourself to do that. Especially in the early morning. When you just wake up and feel like, why should I do this? But I know I tend to do the same as well. That's why last time when I'm free, I'll tell her like, okay, let's do this on maybe Tuesday morning, every Tuesday morning. Then both of us won't miss it. We will do it, no matter what.
Trust me, on summer morning, actually even as we go closer to spring, do you think that you are able to survive with, you have those long sleeve, right? Like maybe around 15 degrees weather, can you just wear those long sleeve and then just run outside? Do you think you can survive with that? I believe you can.
I think
I can.
I think can, because like those run that we did when I just came here, not very long. I think the weather is around there.
But there's
the
no
temperature,
sun. Because I'm thinking like,
no sun, you mean?
Yeah. No, not. I don't know. I guess sometimes no sun. Yeah, actually, because I'm thinking like spring-ish. It's still not like the sun level is still not as early. But yeah, because the thing is that it will, trust me, it will be a lot better during summer when now that we're able to get out of bed, get ready, and then go to gym, which is like, I don't know, like at least 1 hour process. Next time we can just shorten it to like 15 minutes process where you get ready and then straight off you run. Like you just run and then, I don't know, it's a lot easier because like it's so easy to do that. It just makes you feel, why not? And then like the benefits after that is like when you come back like, oh, finished, and then you just be like, let's do the podcast, something like that.
I mean, I think it's doable. Yeah,
right. That's, I don't know.
As long as the wind is not too strong.
Okay. But I guess the main thing is that we just have to survive through this winter period. Yeah, the period. Yeah. So yeah, beautiful. Do you have any insights?
Not really. I think I kind of shared my insight kind of stuff earlier. Yeah.
I guess I mean I did. So I did. The main thing I just want to highlight is that I feel like this working out thing is magically better. It doesn't have to be like like, I don't know, comparing standards. That's not good. It's like more like where you're at, then you just do it that way. Make sure you sweat. You work harder to the stage where you sweat. Something like that. But actually, I quite like all those motivation workouts, something like that. Aerobic, I personally, I still prefer aerobic over anaerobic. I don't know. I think anaerobic is like, it's not that fun. Aerobic, I prefer it. Like you sweat it out, it feels more satisfaction, something like that. So
yeah, for me as well, because I'm not that kind that focus on I have to build this shape or something. I just want myself to be healthy. That's the reason for me working out. So I feel like that's better. And because when we are running on treadmill, we followed those videos, right?
That's why I was talking about motivation workout.
I kind of like the one that I've been following so far, because she always says that I'm at this level, but it's okay that if you are not, because everyone is different. Just listen to your body, and then throughout that she will say, okay, is there something more in your body? Let's try to push yourself a bit more. if you can't stand it, then you come back. But you can always try and add it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea. Like sometimes we won't know how far we can go until we try it out.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
And of course, remember to protect your body, not to get yourself injured.
Yeah.
As long as you make sure that's happening, then no problem. You can just go ahead.
I guess that's, I don't know. This is like that really helps you to keep going. But then, like, other than that, I just enjoy workout. I don't know, refreshing, especially in the morning once you do it, and then you feel like you can do more stuff after that. I don't know, it's amazing. Even before you sleep, it actually helps sort of, was there a period of time? Oh no, sorry, that's not a period of time. But then, I mean, like, you can do workout, take a great shower, and then rest well. That's like amazing as well. And I guess that's it. That's just my tiny insights, which I don't know. I find that it just helps me quite a lot. So especially today, this experiment, because I feel, I can imagine how we will we'll procrastinate a lot during our breakfast and then shower, and then in the end we're like, can we not do this podcast? Like, I'm so tired right now. Like, I have other things to do. But then right now we're just like, we're done with this thing, and then we can eat and then shower, and then there's other things to do, but those are less on the importance list. We can take a rest a while, and then we can do all the other stuff. Like, it's not like the important thing on the list.
Our time now is more flexible.
Yes,
since we have done with the most, I wouldn't say difficult, but something you just need to push yourself to do it.
Because it takes some time, and then like it pushes your brain to maybe workout help. Pushing more blood into it, more oxygen onto my brain, makes it think faster, possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's even right, but so yes, I guess that's it then. So I don't know, hope that you guys love this episode. Is this podcast a form of therapy? Yes, it is. I mean, maybe you can make one and it'll become one for you as well. Definitely, that's a bit of learning curve in the beginning. Just get through that, and then you'll be it'll turn out to be a therapy for you, I believe. So yes, so thanks everyone for listening and watching this episode now that we're video. So yes, same thing. Any questions, or you want to talk to us, message us on our podcast. But I prefer you to structure more of a better question. Don't be like a super open-ended, like, don't be like hi, or like, you just send us a question. I would love to know more about that, because mainly I guess mostly now it's like still spams from like podcast promotion that just say hi or something. We don't reply to that.
If there's something after the hi itself, then
it's fine. We want to know a question. We want to know what is the intention of you coming to messages, so something like that. But other than that, so still thanks, and then do listen to our next episode. We're gonna have another guest up here soon. So so
actually
thanks.
two guests.
Amazing. I need to confirm with one of them as well. So yes, thanks everyone for listening, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with the link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.